What's up, guys? Just made it back to the house this morning. Got back here from out west about 2 a.m. Got my deer outside in the cooler right now, or what's left of him. I've been in here working all day trying to get him processed, as you can see here. If y'all did not see that hunt and want to get caught up, click on this link up here and it'll take you to that last video. And I just finished processing him. I've been using all of our meat gear here. I've actually got their 500 watt meat grinder and then their Pro vacuum sealer. I got a pile of ground venison here. Took the back straps, obviously, took the inner loins, packaged up a couple of roasts too, and then ground the rest of it, all the neck roasts and stuff I just ground up into ground venison. Worked really good, took me about 4.5 hours, and now it's ready for the freezer. I'm pumped about that because we've been out of deer meat for months now. But on today's video, we're going out to North Dakota to join up with Zach and Jake and Nick. They've been out there for the last couple days. They're on a pile of bucks. Before we get to that though, I want to give y'all a quick update here on the house. Before we went out west, me and Jake spent a couple days working on the garage. And as y'all know, if you've watched any of our past videos, it's been quite the process getting that thing done. That's why we got all this crap sitting here in the house right now, is because we had to move all of it out of the garage so we could put up the drywall. A friend of ours, Chris Pettigo, came up from the St. Louis area and helped us hang all that drywall, and we got it done in like a day and a half. There is absolutely no way that me and Jake would have got that done without Chris's help. So huge props to Chris for coming up here and helping us, man. We really appreciate you. But anyway, let's get to today's video. Let's go up to North Dakota.
What's up, everybody? It's September 1st and I'm in North Dakota. Been here for a couple days checking out some new areas, but all I've really seen is one nice mule deer buck and a couple young whitetail bucks and some does. So I just been sleeping in my vehicle, and yesterday evening I drove a pretty good ways and I got about an hour drive this morning. I'm gonna check out a familiar spot, and Zach and Nick are on their way up here to meet me, and I think they're checking out a familiar spot as well this morning. So hopefully between the two of us out looking, hopefully we can find something. Who's that? Alright, so spotted a couple bucks this morning, and there's one nice buck that was still in velvet. Zach and Nick are on their way towards me. I think they're about 4 hours out. I'm just parked here. I'm gonna eat some breakfast, drink some coffee, do some editing, and I watched them kind of go over this hill, and I'm assuming they bedded down not far away from where I last saw them, because I drove around and never got eyes on them again. Now I'm just gonna park here until Zach and Nick get here, and hopefully at some point, I'm assuming they're gonna stand up if they're still bedded up on the hillside, and I'll be able to see them. But I'm just gonna edit and hit the glass every 15 minutes or so, and I gotta sharpen my broadheads a little bit before they get here. I think Zach and Nick are pretty fired up. They're on their way.
Time gets away from you, but we've been on an editing binge since the pronghorn hunt. Myself, Ted, Keith, and Nick have all been at my house for the last, like, what, 6 days? Pretty much editing, like, non-stop. We were a lot of times editing until, like, midnight, so anything else been on your mind?
No, that's about it. We are going to have to chip away at it, just like we did the pronghorn.
Yep, I'm excited to go hunt with Jake.
That one right there is really good. It's not kind of good, but he's all the way good. Nope, gotta pass. Wind ready, but we're not ready.
About time, huh?
Glad you finally showed up.
Feels like just in time. Feels like you're just in time.
Just for them to start moving?
They're gonna start getting a little shade here, be like, ooh, maybe it's time to start feeding a little bit.
There's just not very many good glassy spots to see a lot of it. We got in the bottom with it this morning, and we're able to kind of see underneath the tree canopy down through there a little bit, but it's not, there's no high knobs like there was last year that you could get on and really see a far distance down through that bottom.
Yeah, it's hard to find spots that set up perfect for doing that style.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I guess let us know if y'all have any luck this evening.
Yep, we got pretty good service here, so we should be able to, you can call us or we can call you.
got him killed. It's good to get the leafy suit back on. You can find those on our website, BOWHUNTINGpublic.com.
I didn't even get to drive my truck in the last couple days. It's fine, dude. It's fine.
Be a slight upgrade compared to that old girl. I put her in the ditch the other day. She's making some new noises after that.
It's a house, though. I was talking to my brother about driving to Colorado, and he was like, yeah, I don't know.
Get in.
He's like, mom's real nervous about me taking my car. And I was like, dude, Jake and Ted drive those pilots around all over the place, and those things like are making noises and rattling.
You didn't call them pilots earlier.
What did I call pieces of shit?
I don't think I called them pieces of shit. Pilot.
It's more like a hunky.
No, I love a good pilot, man.
He didn't say that. I made that up.
We had a good running pilot when I was younger. It was a silver one like Ted's. Beautiful. We got 350,000 miles off of it.
I think you would probably have that one too if you didn't take it down or not you, if I didn't take it down some of the roads that I do.
What about the foul here, Jake? You been mouthwater a little bit?
Oh man, there's some around. Just about every pothole in the state has just got a variety of different ducks.
Nah, you don't ever hear about that. From here or what?
No, I saw them from the oil rig over there. But they went over this side of the hill last time I saw them.
Do you have a pretty good beat on like what terrain feature they used to go down into the public?
They just walked like straight up and over away from the oil rig. I mean, I know that they're in that patch right there, or they were. Like I know almost exactly where they were. But I don't know if we should just walk in there a little bit and just glass for a little bit, or I mean, we can probably see the most from up here, but I think at a certain point we'll go over there. But I think I'd like to stay here for another hour or two, just like if I imagine they're gonna get up at some point where we can see them.
You see deer?
Like they're spooked?
Yeah, that buck and a doe running away toward them dirt.
You just me.
Did you tell him to do that? I did to him when he came up here.
He did too. He said, they're running away right now. I said, are they really? And I'm looking, he's like, no, I'm just messing with you.
Dude, I'm just sitting here like, wait, no.
Well, time to go back.
Yeah.
Real good for running two spotters at the same time. Not everybody can do it, but I guess I'm just different.
Built different.
Yeah, we're not the same.
I'd end up cross-eyed if I'm not already.
Running one eye gets me going cross-eyed.
Something that I gotta put these on now that I'm starting to get a little cross-eyed. left one's starting to get a little fuzzy on me. Seems like.
Yeah, give everybody a little update on that. Tell
I don't know
what you said earlier.
I got out here and I got these glasses like a year ago and I didn't like wearing them. I just didn't feel like they helped me out that much. I felt like they kind of made it worse. So anyway, I haven't been wearing them, and then I got out here and I wasn't seeing any deer, and the sun was actually in my eyes, and I usually have sunglasses up there, but I forgot these were up there, but I reached up there and I put them on, and I just like immediately saw a deer. Started seeing more deer when I put these on, so I'm gonna run them. We gotta probably get contacts because I don't really like doing that, you know. That's probably not gonna be that fun at some point, but.
Actually, they came up with this where you can unscrew them so you can use them with glasses. That's what that's for.
Is it? I always wondered.
Now you know glasses wear. Now update us on bucks.
So I haven't seen these things since this morning when they went over the hill. I was kind of expecting to observe them somewhere up in the last place I saw them at some point today. It just never happened. I think there was 2 young bucks and an 8-pointer that was still in velvet, and another basket rack type buck that was with him. That was hardhorn. I imagine they're somewhere over there. So Zach and I are going to sneak around, get a different vantage on it, see if we can pick them or any different deer out. And, you know, just glass stuff along the way. There's plenty of public around here. And then there's a spot I have in mind down to the south that I checked out this morning. Seems like there was some fresh deer sign in there. We might go try to check that out. And then Nick's going to keep an eye on some stuff in a different direction. We're just going to try to at least get a bunch of scouting done tonight. Maybe get on a little stalked yet. The wind's still up nice, and I imagine we're going to start seeing a lot more deer here at some point. Good luck, Nick. We'll drop your ride off in a second here.
Y'all be good.
Yep.
Let me know when you see one, dude.
Better strap these things in tight. I just had to grow into them. It didn't work at first, but I grew into them. Yep.
Don't him, Jacob. Oh, Malty. Oh, my Malty dog. pussy dog.
A bunch of pups. Looks like. It's out on the hunt. They're starting to move now.
Yeah, and we tried to do something for the turkeys, but Jacob just couldn't get it done.
Do you see any bucks down there? Yeah. But they're not looking at us, honestly, Jake, at all. No, that's fine. Probably the same floor. But it looks like there's at least 2 decent ones, which there was 2 rack bucks I saw this morning. 2 decent ones. But it looks like they all might be decent. I just can't really tell. I'd say there's 2 that you would shoot in there. I should at least move down into that bottom, get as close as we can, huh? I think so. Here, will you give a quick update? Take your last off. I'm just gonna leave them off now because I don't want to be messing with them. I think we found the bucks from this morning, or either way, we found 4 different bucks. And I'd imagine they're moving up out of this bottom and come to these fields. So I think if we're just gonna drop down here in elevation and snake our way up as close as we can, maybe we could pick a trail that they're moving up towards us on. Got a little bit of light left, so it looks like they're moving now, so. And that's called the drop back move, performed by Jacob. That's where we're going. We're gonna try to get down below that little knob. These bucks are obviously just past it. See what we can't pull off. I only see 1 deer. There's 2 there at least. They're probably all right there. Yeah, they might just watch. At least just check and see what's out there. Oh yeah. He'd work with me. Uh-huh. That looks like a pretty big buck from here. Yeah. Bigger than these. And velvet almost looks like pretty dark, isn't it? Yeah. How easy are those hammers to get off there? Yeah, I know what I'm doing out here in glass country, Jacob. Will you take him? Yeah. Sure looks like it. Kinda seems like he's forever away. Yeah. Are you on him? I'm on him, Jacob. Crack him with the 30-06. I think tomorrow morning we just slide in and stick one of these punks and call it a trip. Zach found those bucks that I saw this morning. I'm assuming there's 4 of them that I saw this morning. There's 4 here. I can never really tell what they were. I hope my eyesight's not just like completely going, but it kind of feels like it is. I might have to get it checked out again. But there's also another buck that seems like he's even nicer than these further down this bottom. Deer on this hillside here, Zach. Or moose. Or cow. Cow. I was like, it's movement. It's too big to be a deer. That's that eyesight again. It'll be an interesting season for me. Probably start here in the morning. Nick was checking out a different spot, but I'd imagine if we get up on this hillside tomorrow morning, just sneak down in here as it's getting light out where we can see and we're not spooking the deer. Maybe have Nick observe from across. That way he can film over there and cast us if we need to be casted. Because if we're sneaking up here, you might get eyes on them before. We could pop up here, you can point us in the direction where they're at.
Nice thing is we can stage our way back in here, like at first light.
It's easy to sneak. We're going down. We got it. I mean, it sets up really nicely for us to get to a really good vantage without spooking something. Hopefully, we'll probably go way slower tomorrow too. We just kind of rammed down in here tonight, but you smell that? I miss that smell.
You mean season?
Season smell. Just a cold, damp night. Like something right there.
There's probably a good chance those trees are attracting them to bed too.
Yeah, that's what I noticed last time we were here. There was one buck specifically just bedding at a bottom like this, and like
he didn't bed in the same spot necessarily. You could observe him every time, but he wasn't going to a specific spot to bed, but to feed. Like he would just feed through there in the mornings and in the evenings. It's just like something, a specific plant out there that's real attractive to him. And I mean, there's thousands of different plants, but we've seen it throughout all times of the year where there's a certain plant that's hot and there's like a food pot out there for him. So
it seems like out in this stuff too, like there's always something consistent. It's easy to see because they go right to it.
Yeah.
You can see the color change of the plant.
Yeah.
Whether or not we always know what it is, it's like,
it's not
real green stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter as long as they see what it is. You got a picture of it in your mind. Doesn't matter what it's called as long as you know what it looks like.
Herbology with Jacob.
Make up your own name for it.
And just start glassing from here then?
Yeah. 2 good bugs. Let me get everybody else on them here once. Let me digiscope him. I was talking about this the other day, just like the new, there's several different magnetic options now. And I was just like, there's gotta be a cooler name than digiscope. If there's not, we should think of one. And I said, I'm sure we can. That's more the flavor we're looking for. Nick came down here last night, and he saw for sure 2 decent ones in this bottom. It was so far away that all you could tell was that they're definitely pretty nice bucks, and I think he saw 6 in total. But these ones down here, I came down here yesterday, and this is the only place throughout this whole river bottom where I've seen a bunch of young cottonwoods. I think that's what they are, just some sort of young trees growing up down there. I was like, well, that's definitely different, and it seems like, especially in these western river bottoms, if you can just find, one specific thing that's greener than the rest on the map, it seems like.
Or more colors.
Yeah, just something that offers something a little bit different. But they're right down in there feeding on something pretty specific, it seems like. I imagine they'll go down into those trees or maybe into the cattails and lay at some point today. I don't know if this is a situation where we're going to be able to watch them bed right down, but if we can, at some point this evening, just slip right up there close and get in those cottonwoods and be waiting on it, that'd be pretty effective, it seems like. At least spook one real hard. It's a pretty sweet morning too. Old Nick came down here last night and confirmed that there were some nice ones in here, so we came down here. He went back to where we saw those other bucks last night. I was stressed out for a couple days when I first got here and wasn't really finding too much, but now we found a little pocket where there's some bucks. So we think, when we saw those deer originally, they were closer to the public line, but we've now determined that they're on the private side and they're working away. So while it's still kind of cool in the morning, we're going to try to cruise around and see if we can catch something else on its feet. This might be something we got to circle back to tomorrow morning. Maybe we'll go to where we were yesterday evening, this evening, and see if we can make something work in there, because we know we can move around on deer if they start popping up in that bottom. So it's good to have options. We found 2 different spots with bucks.
Oh, ditching you. Anything good down there?
I don't know. Oh, there it is. It's going to have to be figured out at a later date.
It's kind of like when you put the baseball card in the spokes of the bike. Kind of reminds me of one of those deals.
Soda can. You ever do the soda can?
No, just cards. You get that real Harley sound too, and you get that Cape can in there though.
Well, whatever your favorite soda is, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't actually matter if it's Coke or Sprite or kind of whatever you want.
It'd be a Pabst Blue Ribbon can. That's what it was for me.
At the young age of 9 years old, Jacob had his first Pabst Blue Ribbon, and he said, I'm gonna be a Harley rider for life.
Nice bucks down there on the public. He's a tour bug. This is like a massive 8-pointer or something. Velvet. Yeah. With a little guy next to him. He looks big to me. Yeah, my glass. Oh, don't get me too excited here. No, Jake. This is a big one. That was unexpected. We're prepared. I mean, we got ready relatively soon. Go get some ice, man. All right, so we pulled in to get a different angle on where we saw that buck from way off last night, and just came up here to check down this bottom, and there's a buck standing up there right out on the outside of the cattails with another small buck. I don't know if it's the same one from last night, but it doesn't really matter. And they're feeding down this edge. We're gonna try to meet him right at the end of this fence here. Hopefully he keeps coming this way. If he doesn't, we might be able to move towards him because we got the wind in our face. So we're gonna have to act fast here, but let's go. So we got down to where the corner is here. Basically, we just didn't want him to beat us if he kept on the path that he was on. We're within range of the edge of the water here by the cattails. He could walk through the cattails, but I'd say he's probably just going to follow this edge. It looks like they've been drinking a bunch right down here below us, the cattle and the deer. We're in a good spot where hopefully we can see him coming. He's going to jump across this fence, be able to draw back and rise up and shoot him.
I think Jake, he looked like a buck that you wouldn't be embarrassed to tell Crystal about, you know what I mean?
Probably just laid right back down, close to where we last saw him. Imagine they were just bedded in that little pocket all day, and we're thinking they're probably going to go up towards those beans. There's a chance they follow this fence line towards us, but we just kind of want to eliminate them having to do that, so we're going to move up a little bit. Might just set up there somewhere if we run into him or something, but we just want to get closer just because we think if he gets on his feet early enough, we might be able to slip up close enough for a shot. You can stay here, and I'll go stand by that bush for a little bit. See him, he's up on the rim if you sit up. That was for sure that small buck that was with him, wasn't it? What do you think the chances are that they're right up here?
Not very much, but if they are,
we'll see. I'm just going to take this stuff off. My boots maybe too. I just know it's going to get like dead calm, and I can just be a little quieter. I just hit these corners and peek and then just get up to the next one just as far as I can. Just get up to that one pretty quick, I think, huh? Go out there and be quiet and just hope that we can get down there or see him before he sees us. Try to keep moving like a deer, I think. They're on the hillside. You might do the same exact thing tomorrow morning, you know. Might be able to do that. I don't know. Probably be a little more risky from here on out just because it seems like we're finding all kinds of bucks. Like Zach and I were talking. It could be the same buck that we saw last night up there, but he'd had to move close to a mile to be up there. So there's a chance it could be him, but there's probably a better chance that it's a different buck. And Zach, we didn't get any footage of it, but Zach was just looking across the
bottom here. That was probably several miles over there. And he saw a deer, just like a big buck, he said, just run up and over the ridge, just like kind of spooked. It seemed like we don't know from what, but
I saw 2 deer over there spooking. One earlier.
Nick's over there watching too, so maybe he might be seeing other deer than what we're even seeing probably is. So I don't know. I think we might just get in here maybe pretty early tomorrow and just be on that trail that all those deer are using. Doesn't seem like a bad option, but we'll probably talk about it for several hours when we get back. So you'll have to check out tomorrow's video to see what we end up doing. The more options we got, the better. For being this early in the trip, we've got several options, so it doesn't always go that way.
You saw a couple studs coming up here. You said I'm gonna get. That's what you said, punk.
Boy, did I.
You did?
I wish I had a tag.
Close one, huh?
I mean, I could have made a quick move and killed him. A big
Where
one.
at?
Did he run from you then?
They eventually smelled me.
Yeah.
And then they went. I know exactly where they went. There's a block of trees they went into.
I saw him running from you. I just happened to look up and I just saw this big buck just running away from you.
I was sitting right here on this corner, and I was watching y'all. Y'all are back down this way, and they come out of this. There's that little ditch right there, and it's all just real tall grass all down here. And they might have been down in one of these little, cuts or something. They come out, and I looked over, and they're standing like 50, 60 yards from me right here just feeding. And I walked down this fence row right here to get in, and he got all the way to the fence, and as soon as he got on my trail, he stopped and was standing there just looking around. And then they
To the north of you?
no, that would have been to the south. And then they ended up going to towards this big block of timber over here, or it's not even timber, just that little patch of
So it
woods.
seems like they're probably different deer than what Zach saw even. So they went to the
So yeah,
south
they
of
went
you.
to the south. So the deer you saw was to my north?
I saw a buck shoot north, yeah.
I never saw a buck to the
I'm
north.
pretty sure it was to the north. It sounds like we all just hang back.
Yeah.
There's about 1 billion bucks around.
Yeah.
We
The
just
more that we can
hang
see.
back.
The more that we
One
can
go to a
see.
pocket.
Yeah.
Easy money.
That's
Sounds
money,
good on
dude.
paper. His meat's practically on ice.
Hey, let me see your grill, bull.